Yabema hwefo akwaba ha Pinax TV. Yabeda mo asese mo agimre na mo hwe live on Pinax TV. We have a lot of updates. Yede ebremo ene enumere. Yes, so if you are with us, take and stay. We have a lot to share with you this evening. Quickly, no yanko the government of Ghana. Na sisi ameno ka say Flada ekoko so ewo Ghana ha amanfo dan ejiri anwea etwifa amanfo demo amanfo enema omo a yehwere wo mo ni ade no Captain Smart den sema todwa na osi ono pa nko tumi a sisi amno ka say o senke ye president former president anado danko Akufo-Addo ye ne vice Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ene mpanifo bi omo na abem no hwe sanitation so ene sa nema we town and country planning sa nema wo nyina o senke ye omo edi omugum na okan akosi se o hwe sika twitwiri die a abanya atwam kono eboto ho se omo de fight the drainage especially Odo river no omo di team no over 1 billion Ghana cedis ebesi na still na nso to a Odo nso no ejiri ebufa so amanfo ho kire omo amanfo businesses dodo na e wo circle no omo ehwere omo niema ebim susu fie ejiri this time we dey ejiri akwa adabraka omo titi omo fie adabraka fo nyina esuo ejiri edeko ha omo ti Captain Smart ehye na kosem ono de bofu pa kire mu adabi eni kwa senka ne ma no sei ena eko na ono de otumi a kasa 5 years president who free so ansa na achieve 5 years ansa no dabi also mo review na nka omo nyina ya chi omo because omo abo oman no abro yenko ne tie Captain Smart na yemra sisie
hwe se me wotumi bia mafia ken nema me ya che nanado. I'm being honest.
Yes, sir.
Se me wotumi bia wo hu anka say a constitution say obidi mampani a na odi mampani a no kokona wadi awie no agimfie num agimfie du. No, the constitution is not a fetish.
Obade say for nanado enkonko se no nanya wodia
se me wotumi bia kenne meme ya che Akufo-Addo.
Obade say for nanado enkonko se no nanya wodia
se me wotumi bia kanoma 2 enne meme ya che baomia
emfechire nema wa say waba ne yesterday.
Number 3, akabe bia sisilia da pawo bia mekwa kwa hwene me yache no. Ka mechi Patrick Boa maka ho.
O ma me ne wa. Omo yare.
Meka Patrick Boa mo bia ye di oyo bia se.
Fine, mate.
Me se me wotumi bia wo mem ha kenne mechi nanado.
Mayana
Anko bia be frɛ me sɛ Captain Jai min Jai.
Someone
Se no sa to me na ka mechi Akufo-Addo ne. Kotini masane akɔkye no. Etu obeto ento ye beche no.
Pomba Mistiano. Na minchika no.
Ka mechi ba umia. Etu obeto a ye be ma no wine full bottle. Ano afa ho mechi no.
Enko baby ayesi eko.
Aka mechi sisi da pa ne me na me ma me o. Akabechi sisile abnada pa ne na ma che Patrick Boama ne constituency ne friend say okay kwe south kamachi no mi wia na ma kochi ayi Frebo Pare former chief of staff bam na me do one kan ho Emma be come Marcel Emma me ensan so come Marcel. Now, why am I saying this? Let me explain to you. We said from 2017 to 2024, Odo River Hong Kong MPP just $466 million. Ghana for Please listen to me and listen well, and I'll give you evidence. Mimi Pentro. I am in Zimakohisem. Because I wouldn't show a I can't quench them. There was someone can't quench them. But in your wife in there, Dada, ma, let's a match. Uncle, whoa, wait. The new patriotic party led by His Excellency, the former president and the former vice president, Honorable Frebo Pare, Honorable Cecilia Dapa, and then Honorable Patrick Boama. Odo hunkwaya $466 million.
Yeah, the chain knew that.
Take it here. Come and tell my chain, Bibia Bocode. First, Sika World Bank at the buy. Mafia, what G Sicano. And what that diarrhea singing now, Your Excellency. Okay. And only in 2018, that is $194.5 million. Producer, so Sanyama Nugusu na fa videos na ka Sika MPP for G ye. So I'm going to be young can you Juma and so I'm fine.
Mashisha watching.
Your Excellency, the Edikan was 2018 no, and $194.5 million. Abraham, almost say Adam, almost say Odono, see secondary school or Dosek. That's number one. That is out of the $194.5 million. The entire, my own Akufo sending messages about Patrick Boama, Captain Claire Patrick Boama. It is not about clearing him. No, a deputy minister. Our ministry, and I mean what? And ministry is the Sikana Koye. The point is that what to be the Jumano. The answer is no.
The Bible.
When the head minister, Sisi Adapa, when the head deputy, Patrick Boama, there be an bra penny, Patrick Boama, Cap Presse, and one because on Akufo-Addo on Penasem Dada. But when the head deputy minister,
Otuom kan.
it's in yes, sir. Where this guy? No. But the banning penny for no year draw ministry. We penny power on the year today. Just a father. No, it's me. I bet you, sir. Your Excellency, blessed God's been smart. I did wait namin kahu. National security releasing.
Years of the Akufo-Addo administration, the government committed 450 million.
May I say, Abraham, Mebuana, Mecha draw. Oh, you are. Producer, confirm Your Excellency.
Our storm drains in Accra, which have caused many tragedies over the years, are now being re-engineered by a team of experts who will give it a permanent fix. The Ditchamso drain system is also a drainage system, is also on our list of priorities, and a bid has been put out for experts to transform it into a more efficient system. Our ongoing coastal protection projects are proceeding in Adjoa in the western region, Lekusu, New Takrady Phase 2 in Elmina, Dansoman, Axim, and Disco. This year, we'll also begin others in Amalfo, Kuma, Dansoman Phase 2, Komenda, Anomabo, Cape Coast, Mensa Guinea, Ningo Pram Pram, New Takrady Phase 3, Apam, Kokrobite, Botiano, Blekusu Phase 2, and Abuaze Shama Phase 2, Maritime University, Nongwa, Takrady, Enyanui, and Isipon. Mr. Speaker, we're putting in place plans to avert the perennial flooding caused by the spillage of the Bagri Dam, which has resulted in the constant loss of lives and property over the years. In the short term, desalting of the White Volta will be undertaken this year, in conjunction with discussions with the Burkinabés to regulate the flow of the spillage and mitigate its impact. The Ministry of Works and Housing will in the coming week receive a report on the feasibility study conducted by the Chinese company Sinohydro for the construction of the dam at Pualugu to serve as a receptacle to hold the volume of water spilled from the Bakri Dam for irrigation purposes and also for the generation of electricity. This will be the
team of experts. Engineer, drainage.
This too shall pass, for the battle is the Lord's.
Sasikana.
Our homeland Ghana, and make
Enra
and strong.
Obi to Facebook no church on some phone say na Mahama ote helicopter na ohwe. Are you crazy?
Captain Smart.
Ba me baby akwade na me no ohun baby a.
Ajeta. Enu na ment ya say na me dun no.
You see? Yen kan no kure wo memu ha.
Watch it to remove the third.
Because some say mafia na di aban okopa na me ba sabe eburu sabe nyado obo de ni die kwan so enema mafia ye nyina na me so de ba beguo
enu na ment
ye ria ne akato so obetumi aye ntini ye do bai wan say Bantama MP ye fan say akwa fan say asenso ba che 450 afei yen kofa $194 million no emfa koso 450 so say mafia for calculator or phone. It is what the 450. Now with the 194. Aquacahu, a 44 million dollars
of morning shows.
Fellow Ghanaians, good evening.
But you call another plus.
This too shall pass.
Now call Google.
So.
Obianko Google. Bank releases the last batch of Addo funds.
So.
Would you make a sabrofu if I know I Who say the World Bank for the Addo Basin fall under the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development GARED project, which totals approximately $350 million. It's with the $350 million. What they call Koka, we $994 million. San Google, World Bank releases last batch of Addo funds.
Brody Koko. Also, what bring after
I would have said, Beya, Ube
so.
Wekwa kotumbro for the dead devil.
So.
The World Bank provided additional financing for the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project to improve flood. And solid waste management in the Addo River Basin. Following the initial commitment, following the initial, Your Excellency, the World Bank and stakeholders subsequently released an additional $150 million into Fokokaho plus $150 million. Addo River Nkwa, the new patriotic party Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo no Dr. Mahama Baumia Kaho Sisiri Abnada Pa Koda the ministry ni a friend is saying Ministry of Sanitation and Jeben Anna Patrick Buamaya the deputy do total amount of money wonya for Addo $1,144 million.
Enti eno aye Captain Smart nensemo de tu dwachire mu a o se President John Dramani Mahama o senka o hwe se former president Nana Akufo-Addo o bema eyache no na sisi ameno ka say on your screens government terminates Addo River drainage contract are the etu just say the former government committed over 1 billion Ghana cedis into which no sisi amenoka say the government led by President John Dramani Mahama omo terminate contracts now omo I mean kind of somebody drainage ewo Addo River nimu enti eno ne update ye de mamo sisi enemom as we speak now, Abino wataske Ghana's military say omo ebetia si krom na omo ahwe say ensuane water drainage kwan waterways ni nyina ombe clear ni nyina omo enso astart ya omo de omo nsema ba betudwa sa update ne so ye de beba mo hwan ene early this operation no ni nyina ye de ebema mo na before that no ye be ko prophet Telvin Sowa ho na sesi prophet Telvin Sowa ne nsema a ode aba betudwa kiremu a Kennedy Akuffo Agyapong ne Alan Kwadwo Chematen omo emienu come 2028 omo ebe form a new party. Yes, any update I de ema munti no prophecy kesi a prophet Telvin Sowa de ababe to justice here o 2028 mpo no enye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia de bi in as much as NPP NDC obe change candidate no enya de se eye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia de na emom sa new force ya ebe eye Honorable Kennedy Akuffo Agyapong any Alan Kwadwo Chematen eba beteno omo ebe cause some level of shock in 2028 election eba be konimu nti ono de osemo fansan baby enso nka say Kennedy Akuffo Agyapong no matter how much he has invested in the new patriotic party obeja party ni ho akwakote party foforo yenko ne ntie prophet Telvin Sowa the catalyst na yemra sisi.
Beside the prophecy we say on the 28th of January next year, that will be 2027. I saw Kennedy Agyapong, Alan Tremantin. They are shaking hands together, and there is a different operation going on. When the time comes, we'll take it from there. I've told you again, and I will repeat. And on the idea attempt the day be baby, so make us about me lose you many enemies beyond imagination. And on the idea, many kaya 1 week when I'm saying from Mr. Catalyst. Once I was obi the Mr. Catalyst and I would the DBB too, but was way at Drew headquarters. What Drew baby? Which means they start tagging you now. So that's it. But as the Lord lives, me what I would advise everybody is this: I'm not a politician. But there's one thing, you can twist football prophecies, you can play game, manipulate the outcome, whatever. Ubetimia to chimina mano akati, ayewe at your bloggers, at your contract, at your whatever. But as the Lord lives, this is the master of time speaking, by the grace of God, anointed by God, elected by God from when I was a kid and I have grown. 2028, I am telling you, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia will not be president of Ghana. If you like, Montron from glass winning, many time I come here, let it show you my face, so that when you cut the video, it will be very, very easy. It is already.
And see, I know a prophet Telvin Sowa, and ordinary some atuja, or say, Mumfan sign baby and Swonka, or some Montreal more glass name, how's a glass name in Swamp Pada, Montreal for more glass name, say 2028. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Emma Mayor President of Ghana. Her name January 2027. You be a new party be a unity. After 2027, when I see year 2028. Charlie, I think chairman who will be and Temwate because 2024 year 2025 the President John Romani Mahama see Kunyaso 2025 2026 mean 15 year 2027 January or say or who say Dr. Honorable Kennedy Akuffo Agyapong oni Alan Kwadwo Chematen o maso omonsa omoche omonsam chese the new party e de aba omo e de eba begina as a third force. Now is a third force no ebeko e de future da ho na sheda so ni faith e te say ye de nyina e de eba be ma wo obekai Jacob osay yebo a ono ye friend Joy. Now, Jacob Osayeboa, ono ene the pioneer of independent president aspirant. Ono ene the pioneer on the Shasi Ghana Joy 2012. Ono ene Shasi na. Also ono na penny ewom ejobiti say Alan Cash ena cheddar. Omo mienu omo penny no na odi atudwa say omo mienu Alan Cash any cheddar omo eba be join the base movement no enti ono any nsemo odi tu dwa no say ono omo penny as independent candidate as presidential aspirant no waba be join the base Alan Cash any cheddar omo so eba be join see quickly no ye be kono akwakotie Jacob Osayeboa Joy 2012 nsemo odi tu dwa the base movement omo press conference na say ye go tie ne emra sisi
many penny pa Ejina awasem meba na meba kire se akompreko me fuaso eje nua panyin Alan ene cheda 2024 year no mu yi o mu ti no me a me di o mo kan no se me ma ba na me di mo ho abedom a o mo so beba no mo so di o mo ho abede abedom esa so o mo nyina ye nkrofo a adwene ni nyina aye de Ghana first ba samre no eye ahobrase ene kabom no sunsum ni amode no ejina yewura Kennedy odine Agyapong so ene je o se ye nyina ye ba ne de ahode ni enim de ebeta na chi esa Ghana first enye no ye leading nti na mom Ghana de first na samre no eye mra eye yewura Kennedy odine ade Agyapong
Joy 2012 and your core equity in some or the two Jano Chiremua. The base movement Ghana first or move make sure say and yen dipano dear Kunyano na ye Jumano di Abuano de be on say walk up a cosi Argentina for no ye Jumano de Mamesi so and yet chrono debi. Joy Echiremua base movement now bano on be make sure so they will work for Ghana first. And ya wa betina kunya so na ye hwe say we ba say ne besi we ba say ne besi no they will come together and make sure say Ghana for omo hi asem omo ebe konkoden say de be ya Ghana for ho ebe to mo Ghana ha say na ni nyina mu na MP for Garu Tim no say first na Garu Tim pane ne achim say MP for Garu ono Dr. Thomas Anaba and ordinance ma betu dwa or say Ken must go for no and say omo mko Lisa Hotel na omo edi juma and I say omo eye dede say Ken must go omo ye protest wa bra MPP na omo eye meeting no or say sankofo ni nyina Kennedy akompre kwa Agyapong obetimi ahwe omo nyina akosi 3 na omo jeje na ho ye Ken must go dodo na akwa no omo ni atade mpo ehwe omo na Kennedy akompre kwa Agyapong ni modern ma wo bo party nim ono ena ababeye the sole financier of the new patriotic party ono na yisika edeboa party no ema party ni timi koba ejinipa say is wo kasa why na nkasa say bi da because now he is speaking as a national man or kasa edi amaga na nyina MPP ya obo MPP echi NDC ya obo NDC echi nti heden ena nsem bi say okoka amanfo so original brand say yenyini free party nim ono as Dr. Thomas Anaba MP for Garu no on train man for papa no and to tankru musa because of some of the two dra yen Dr. Thomas Anaba MP for Garu na yemra sisi.
What is going on is like working to do away with another main figure and knowing very well that this man is not just a street boy. Yeah. He has been a main financier, a mover and a shaker of the party. He came and made a comment. What was his comment? He made a factual statement which has evidence that the two political parties are to be blamed, not only NDC. That means that he's also blaming his party. And from what you are seeing, he appears to be appearing more nationalistic than being partisan. But let me ask this question. Why is MPP, let me say, bloggers and everybody fighting for Abroye?
3FM.
Is it not freedom of speech?
2.7.
I don't know fighting for freedom of speech.
Yes.
What Kennedy did? What is it? Is it not freedom of speech? And factual statements? You say, we are in this country fighting that, oh, we fought against the criminal libel law, blah, blah, blah. Kennedy is a Ghanaian who wants a hospital for the people of Kumasi. We had a running mate who is a doctor in Kumasi, and Affair Hospital was standing there 90% incomplete. The money meant for that building was there. You didn't complete it. Then you leave power. 8 years, you move the thing from 50-something percent to 90-something%, and you left it. And you went and spent millions to start Agenda 111 scattered everywhere. When one of that hospital alone could take 5 of Agenda 111. Meanwhile, you had a vice president, a doctor from Ashanti. But you couldn't complete it. Kennedy comes to say, look, we caused it. Not only NDC. At least, NDC came and cut the salt in 2014 for them to start, left power after 2016. And you took over from 2017 up to 2024. What did you do? Why didn't you complete it? If you really love the people there, why didn't you complete it? He made a factual statement. We are both to be blamed. Then you say, no, the way you have spoken, you've spoken too much, is against party laws. Which party is above the national interest? Which party interest should be above a national interest? That's why I'm saying that these are the very people who are crying for freedom of speech. But when a member in their party makes a statement which is nationalistic, they say they should go away with him. But what I feel sad is the people who are always behind this noise, cameras and the rest. Look at those young boys who were there campaigning, Kennedy must go. Look at them. Kennedy can employ all these people, feed them. These people, can just see that they don't even understand what they are doing. And this is how our politics is going. We get the young boys who are virtually doing nothing. You just gather them, give them a banner, and they come and they are making noise. Some of them even didn't have a good trousers to wear. And they are saying Ken must go. Ken sponsored this party's congress. You know what it means? Ken bought pickers for people to campaign and win elections.
Dr. Thomas Anaba ena yekote ne nkane nsem odi tu dwa kire mu a Kennedy akompre kwa Agyapong ne kasa okasa no bie no obetimi agina ho akase papa no wankasa ye because he was speaking of national interest. Wankasa se party say yebesi hospital dia ma Asanteman afre na Afari military hospital na Asanteman benya hospital kese it is 37 military hospital no muso atimi akomu no enye bone so. Say MPP buy here for 8 years. When to me and we know, say show been money 15 months. We know and funny community. Dr. Thomas Anaba is also standing with Honorable Kennedy Akuffo-Addo Agyapong. Or say more bloggers, MPP bloggers are you are tarnishing the image of the man. No, that be hospital. Say Timemuni and Timemu for Benya Hospital outcome is more important than a party's policy in Ghana here. Dr. Thomas Anaba. Ena okasa sano otiremu nsusu sa etwaso a omo ye kemas go the Kennedy betimi apa adwuma mo nyina ti obi a wo hebehim na obi na apetu 2 cities bi ama omo no mkogina ho ye kemas go de bi omo nsem fata so omo be di sa adwuma no ede atia opanyi kesese wo MPP amanyuko num enti no ye Thomas Anaba Dr. Thomas Anaba MP for Garu ena de nsem tutwa no ye twaso a na ye ko Ghana maimu heya na yebetena na amanfo bi astarte edin sembi tudwa foreigners are omo puba Ghana ha say because of say ye be borders ubetimi aba free visa ne sa nema no amanfo dodo na astarte ye so concerned about the kind or the caliber of foreigners are omo ra Ghana ha on say omo gina kwa ho gigisresre nema we or sere sika wa ma no to kam no ama na no asan o kan zankofo no now how do they get into the country? Because you see, people have started questioning, how are we going to deal with these menace in Ghana here? Ghana Immigration Service, what are they doing about it? Quickly, you go hear some of the videos. People had to record them and ask questions. What is going on in Ghana? You're going to hear video with them last year. Enti videos ni bi na akɔhwɛ no we otim so ombedru ye nkyɛ kra ombedru ye nkyɛ omo niema egugu omo nkyɛ nti ye besa the video na to so na take you through some of the rundowns as to enkofu yi said ombe pie mu Ghana yi omo destination ehin no omo kɔ. Where are they heading to? Because how did they get into the country? And also, I also say because most of them just around the border. Na omugu way omotete ho omoniema omo bags ni omo ekete omo beda so nyina e de gugu ho no. And these people are in the country. What are they coming to do? Ejuma be no mo beye. Edi no mo beye de ahwe omo ho omo ba be pie mo Ghana because yenim say free visa and open. Me can say Ghana bia ye biem free and open system. Ye biem e wo Ghana ha say no. E wo so obi abetimi aberem. But then ba e wo so hu de wo beye. Some of these things are the things that the immigration are going to check before allowing you into the country. Before cross obenya visa. Because on the border people are entering the same way people needs to get visas to enter the country for some other foreign nationals. A baby memo idea, they are to just say a free. But then still now we have to go through some processes. These are your make I say your passport needs to be stamped. And if you ever stamp your passport, we have to go through some background checks. All these people, they don't even have visas, but then they've entered the country. People are asking questions: are we safe? The open and free system Ghana diabano na border no so what is really going on among for we mutimi nya kwan and other foreign nationals be to say omutimi ewura oman ni mu hwe be omotete eni ade omo begu kwan so astati access sika ni ade ensem fata enye fe enti among for bisa questions say open and free system Ghana dia ba no ehu hia say wo se ana se ni kwase so that is the update among for do na ebora Ghana omu enim baby mpo a omu omu ani kire na ye beto ansem no so ne Ministry of Foreign Affairs na omu the update about the press release kese the abeto monten so mo a ensu yire ensu to ye ma ensu yiri ye mo hwere mo ne ma mo passports yira ye ebi mo so dia for omo ye ne hwe enye ye no Ministry of Foreign Affairs so be replace dia mo bia mo passport yira ye ese ye munyina be replace dia mo quickly we'll go through the press release on the buy. So Ministry of Foreign Affairs press release, Ministry of Foreign Affairs to replace damaged and lost passports due to recent floods. Accra, 3rd July 2026, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs extends its deepest sympathies to all persons affected by this week's devastating floods in many parts of Ghana. And flood no insujire no eka omo no now the ministry is aware of the catastrophic consequence, including loss of lives and destruction of properties. We extend our sincere and deepest condolences to the families and loved ones of the deceased. The Foreign Ministry expresses strong solidarity with all our affected compatriots. And still now, almost say fine. Foreign Affairs Ministry solidarity message and with their press release. The ministry recognizes that due to the floods, many Ghanaians may have either lost their passports or had them damaged. Because of flood, among Voniama Bebrine or passports. What I saying to you know, and some of the schools they should look out for replacing some certificates for some of the alumni, because among for certificates, land titles, and they be brave and ajra. To the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, chemo munim omoya aware among for passports. Either say so actually ko and I say assay passports no. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has decided to implement an expedited replacement of lost and damaged Ghanaian passports as a result of the floods. In the Mom Guta Ghanaian passport holders in so to ye passports no in so ne coin in almost be replacing an expedited process chemo e be 10 terms so the amamo said be am sabitimi akan in term the Therefore, request individuals whose passports were lost or damaged during the flooding incident to contact us from Friday 3rd July to Friday 17th July 2026 and on this number 0559368563. So almost number way, and it is a period, a window no maybe from Friday 3rd of July as a nephew. Monfre omo ankosi 17th July. And by 17th July no na just omanya database omo de be replace omo passport asay and asa ira no. And number no and a good screens in 0559368563. Obetimi afre na omo replace the amount affected persons calling our dedicated number should kindly provide the following information: name, date of birth and gender as contained in the lost or damaged passports. And to fra yes if I would date of birth and our gender or your bar and our bema fabra passport no so hold on ebe hu omo masesa ko bema ne oba no o gender see our gender yesen na ebisa wo so hu the whole passport ni mu ene yehwe and nti obefre na do udin date of birth o gender o de be call. Callers should also include their phone numbers for easy access. Nti phone number easily ni ombetimi areche wa che say passport no either say you ready because they still have your data there. All your biometrics, all your data, all your information are still there. It's just for them to print a new passport for you. And I say if there's a few questions that they want to ask her, you have to provide a number that they can easily get to you, access you, get access to you. Say that ombetimi ebisa questions we also mubisa. We intend to replace all lost and damaged passports within a week. And within 1 week, no, more passports ira, more passport as say within 1 week, no, or more ebetimi ayenina ede amamo. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs stands in solidarity with all affected persons during this difficult period and remains committed to playing its role in supporting government recovery efforts. To all media houses, Pinax TV, yensa kebi ena yete. Emamono. And to say say Foreign Affairs Ministry at the abetu just more passports ayira in so toye flood ebaye more passport ayira ni nyina ye be replace at the amamo within a week. And from 3rd July to 17th July, you are supposed to call this particular number 0559368563. O friends so omo ehwehwe wudin, with date of birth, and with gender as it is contained in the lost passport. Said in an expedited process, no, they can replace your passport for you within a week. In the more including your passport, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is ready to replace it for you. In Tisha, na also offer number no said omo ebetimi apoa e wosa kwan so. Yebato ansem so na ye de amamo ye din kama update say the government of Ghana is employing, and I say is deploying the Ghana Armed Forces. Some ama drainage systems that Ghana ha all the waterways are among for SCC are dying SCC and they are blocking waterways now on back cleaning in there is going to be free flow of water, rainwater. Na etimi flow akwakogu epunum amana yeye na brigadier Foster okan yeboa ono ena director general at the Ghana Armed Forces ono ena in a joint operation ono ena edi animu papa yi ena da screens ne so no papa na ni edin rough otisi krom sesi so almost start process na and some papa ne di atodwa kire mu a bibia ni ho a omo beja e di ato ho se wo ye hwan na wo dan si insuomu esinsuo kwan mu omu checkia all the engineers are ye be deploy mo from the Ghana Armed Forces any a joint operation omo eba be kambo mo aye adwuma no omo ba pe omo be make sure say bibia ebe de na akwem. Government taps Ghana Armed Forces Director General Joint Operations Brigadier General Foster Okai Yeboa to lead all action flood mitigation exercise. Ti papa ni eba be di animu Pia Umbefebia Papai and Eba Bedi Animu or Doctor Brigadier General Foster or Kanye Bois or no any down screens in this no and Eba Bedi Animu leading the military and other stakeholders, engineers, or more Ebe Cambo no Maclay all the waterways. No Papa didn't some out to ja Yaboka ko jene some or the two ja after say appointed and ordin some to ja na yaboka ko je sanchi mu no na motie ni nsem odi to dwa say adwuma mo beye no sign no mo beye no na ombesha ase free hen na omde akowie hen yenko yentie Brigadier General Foster Okanyepo na emra sisi.
The nationwide cleanup and recovery exercise will focus on restoring public safety, improving sanitation, and preventing secondary disasters such as outbreaks of cholera, typhoid, and other waterborne diseases. Particular attention will be given to the removal of refuse, silt, fallen trees, abandoned vehicles, collapsed structures, and other debris obstructing roads, bridges, drains, and waterways. As part of the operation, the Ghana Armed Forces will deploy personnel, engineers, specialized equipment to clear major drains, streams, rivers, and other critical waterways. In accordance with applicable laws and directives of the appropriate civil authorities, structures illegally erected within waterways or that pose an immediate danger to public safety and flood mitigation efforts may be removed where necessary. The Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Assemblies have also been directed to organize and lead cleanup exercises within their respective jurisdictions in support of the national operation. Their efforts will complement those of the Ghana Armed Forces and other security agencies to ensure that all affected communities receive the required attention.
Brigadier General Dr. Brigadier General Foster Okanyepo and the Kuti and some the two Jano, Omuchimo, Omu making sure say Bia, I was a Mudiomosa Cambiano, Omudiomosa Ebe Kanti engineers are buying any Omakasa, Omo Eba Betesi Chrome, no much check baby, also Omo Shena, Omo SCA, baby also more clear and so it's me a fahokono on Behenoma on your screens. If we have to pull down structures that are obstructing waterways, will do so. Brigadier General Foster Okanyepo, Director General Joint Operations, Ghana Armed Forces. We're a national anti-flood mitigation team Ayate, Ghana Armed Forces, with other stakeholders who are involved. Omo eneba making sure say the national anti-flood mitigation no omo making sure say omo ebe clear all the waterways, all the drainage systems. We say we shall not leave any stone unturned. Enti se oye sabe ntete akra na baby anam no wo block waterway a ye be you afri ho. Enti imagine mo amosisi dan e de asi nsuo kwan mu mo so so a structures different structures and nsuo yiri fa so yi okọ baby ti se alajo odo nsuo na fa ho no mu a amanfo shops. There was a video na obi ada wada wo the container mu wooden structures even wada wo mu nsuo no apeja wooden structure no de etensuo nani a eko nipa ne da so da eko nani ma dru baabi ansa no hu se ensuo de ne ko ansa no opie atwinity every structure name. There's a video of that. Obetimi asearch ube hu sa video na nipa no wada. Some of all these structures are blocking waterways and tinkaye den ensuo a etene connecting be fa wo ede every baabi a wo structure si. Some of all these structures, according to Brigadier General Foster Okanyepo, ni nyina omo beyi e de afri ho. Enti aban no ahye Ghana for engineers omo wom se omo hwe na anti-flood mitigation team no omo endi animu na bibia enye kama e wo Ghana ha. Enti that is the update ye de emamo with a flood ekoso ewo Ghana ha say no. Enti ye behwe ne adi nsem na chi sen e no be ye adwuma no de afa ehin e na omo hyase. How are the operations going to be? See am no ka say ye wo 48 engineering regiment no ye will be ewo Accra Kumasi highway no so as we speak no ma clear be 50%. Enti emumu abi na beba anase there's a different team I wo ho a omo so ebe tiesim na omo making sure say with the excavators and all the equipment, all the necessary technology ebetimi aboa provided the needed solution says our flood ekoko so yi ni nyina to betwa enso yiri ye se wo fie na enso ama ho a diema e wo se nka wo ye nyina wantimi anye kan obi a se enso ni bia ma wo fie a se wo se nka wo pie drive from mountain so ekofa car di ko baby ko di ujuma bi sa Monday no wantimi anye enti se almost start so mu di juma. They are expecting that Ghanaians will cooperate with them because baby I didn't drew no say anya next year we'll come back and say the same thing. The same level of flooding ebesaba amount for as high as amount for wall or matono and so now rise here up to that level. People had to be on roofs, people had to be on top of structures. Because say most of the buildings in Accra here are weakened because of these flood. And so no time we 2-3 days more than concrete and I say cement enim kese no na I started dondon. There was a structure be a buye within this flooding year course structure be enso ebuye sa dan no munsi wie e musi e dan no ebuagu. We didn't talk much about that because the extent of flood that caused so where this week na anodin. And the Brigadier General Foster or Kanye Boa and then some of the other no say there o tiremu a omo ebetiesi krom omtisi krom they will not leave any stone unturned. Any structure that is blocking the waterway, they have to pull it down no matter who owns it. So there's another video with this report and an update here. Near this video near Basisi.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Theodore Dalmeda. I'm staying with a lot of Equatorial Guinea students here. These are not all the numbers. This is just a few. And what I'm pleading for the government to help. Equatorial Guinea government needs to help. I'm the junior brother of the landlord. And if you come and see, Ghana has been hit more than every country in West Africa that has been affected by the rain. So I'm pleading with the government. They need help. Everything is gone. If you can see behind me, there's nothing. We are just throwing everything away. So they seriously need help. If you come around, we can send anybody to come and investigate from the embassy to come to our house here to come and check. Everything is gone. We even take part of the baller out. And this is the third batch that we are now taking now out, and some are inside. They can't even have a place to sleep. We have friends that they are sleeping with now, and the friends who, excuse me to say, they can't accommodate them for long. They need food, they need money to buy everything. Very, very serious disaster in Ghana here. You can even contact the government if you want. They will tell you. Even Ghanaians, we as a Ghanaians, we can't even survive. So please, if there's any help that you can do to help them, it's very needed, because the Ghana government cannot do anything at this moment. Everything is out of hand. So please help them for us.
Vale, como habéis podido escuchar al maestro del casero que estaba explicando que aquí hemos sufrido una terrible inundación, y necesitamos ayuda de parte del gobierno. Eso no son todos los estudiantes que han sufrido toda esa inundación. Aquí somos pocos. Los demás están subiendo y bajando buscando ayuda por donde sea. Por favor, estamos de vuestra ayuda. Aquí no estamos haciendo ambiente, eso es que hemos sufrido de verdad, como podéis ver las imágenes, como nos podéis ver, aquí no tenemos nada. Hemos perdido todo. Gracias.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Theodore Dalmeda. I'm staying with a lot of Equatorial Guinea students here. These are not all the numbers. This is just a few. And what I'm pleading for the government to help. Equatorial Guinea government needs to help. I'm the junior brother of the landlord. And if you come and see, Ghana has been hit more than every country in West Africa that has been affected by the rain. So I'm pleading with the government. They need help. Everything is gone. If you can see behind me, there's nothing. We are just throwing everything away. So they seriously need help. If you come around, we can send anybody to come and investigate from the embassy.
All right, enti video eye obi a wotifia Equatorial Guinea students omo ene omo na tifia omo handan e woni fie nsu yire yi course yi affect omo pa ama omo aso aye sisi ya me no kasa yi omo ba bi omo beda ekra ya asem omo niema bebre dodo na ena nsuo no atwena kwa pe nkoma ne oni edi ne chemu a omo ekoto niema no bebre na agu enti omo sre Equatorial Guinea aban ne se aban no osoro omo emra omo emmoa na sia de emu ayedin ede amomo Ghana for kra omo Ghana hase akra no emu ayedin amomo ya chese aban 350 million Ghana cedis or de ba na emum se obi abenya bi ana se obi enya bi no so ya asem foforo enti omo se Equatorial Guinea aban se Equatorial Guinea de share omo Ghana flood yi eka omo no omo emra emefa omo emfa omo enko ye kai say foreign affairs ministry ko fa Ghana for free Cote d'Ivoire e de omo baye because so flood DBC ma omo ye demolition e ma ye ko for omo de omo baye ti omo say Equatorial Guinea aban say omo mra no omo mefa omo de hye no na omo emfa omo enko na sisi yenhwe education mu kakra education na sen ensem dodo na enesisi ewo ye schools mu ama education minister de ensem ababetu dwa na sisi de no ka first of all or say the double track system work Ghana ba Ghana no ama and said ama meboa. The double track system undoubtedly is affecting the delivery of the quality of secondary education. It does not allow for sufficient student to teacher contact. Haruna Ijusu, a minister for education, in some of the two your as a time nusa and chronicle school man because of say green and a gold and a red batch by batch. Also we mu ba no mu koninti. Amase si ameno kasei. Teacher to student contact no eswate about form teachers no they don't have enough time to engage the students, prepare them very well for exams. Any ante enti ono de omo behwe na omo adi hu dwuma no mahwe kwan omo so a double track system no omo ebetimi here free na nje double track system ne buy because of the free SHS ne buy no omo nya akwanya call SHS no omo adoso omo be doso to the extent say na o se ehwe na ye pe kwan bi a ye befa so a ebetimi contain omo nyina e wo school mu ama na ye ntie no ena ema sa nema no enyina eba ye no that is the updates of free the education minister ho eba na kwesi kwaten spokesperson the ma honorable Kennedy Akuffo Agyapong papa yi din sama betudwa waye a write up tin about the double track system no na ye bekwa kohwem kakra na etutu ne srani abasa ba bi ehun hia no ye de atomanim na mahwe se de enema no esi eko. That is education minister Ochemu enema ekoso double track no emwa education system especially on SHS we kwesi kwaten ono so ne nsem ne points na be fa no 11 b na ye de amamo. The double track policy was never introduced as an end in itself. It was an innovative SHS program. At the time, the MPP government was confronted with two options: either infrastructure or adopt a transitional model that guaranteed access while expanding school education supply, because there was no classroom to accommodate them. And see, a drum free SHS no enrollment in the course. And the NPP was in between two options: either they will find money to increase infrastructure, teachers. Increase the number of teachers. Now, omatimi accommodate the enrollments na akosro no. And now say ombefa kwan fufuro biswa they can contain all the number of students ababe doso no. And infrastructure any a different initiative of which they picked the double track system. And it's sad time no now mu hia sa ombe sisi adan increasing infrastructure well they started some baby but then call for double track system green gold we mu corner we ma betena fie we mu betena fie be 3 months na we mu so akobe 1 month na ma ba na we ma call. It was very confusing because etina be hu kofi na unko school was yo there be o green for na be fie na otifie kofi na sesi a we mu no omu ko was kofi na unko school was mi wo gold enti nipa ba ko no wo green osa wo gold no otifie enti school no onko obetena ne na ho saa enti no mu hu ne se emwa ere education minister de tu dwa no na kwesi kwatin de ekire mu a na enya ade a ebe so bibia no de ne hia sa wosenke ye was to build infrastructures. Education is built on 3 key pillars: access, quality, and relevance. At the time, Ghana graduates enable to secure SHS admission every year through free SHS and the double track system education. Etina enema osi here for education, access, quality, and relevance. Enti eno kwesi kwaten ne nsɛm bi ɔde to dwa. Now the minister's claim becomes even more untenable when one considers learning outcome reflected it. Year 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023 are the only years in the last decade in which these candidates are products of the double track system. That single fact caution quality of education. Minister no and some of the two said here or say, so let's take the point 3. The double track policy delivered measurable outcomes, contrary to the minister's assertion about 15 to 1 increased instructional hours from 6 to 8 hours a day, created employment for while government aggressively expanded its infrastructure. These are not opinions, they are indeed by February 2024 about 70% of SHS had already transitioned off double track system. Minister some of the two judge said double track system no who said double track system ni boom because one you increase the instructional hours from 6 to 8 hours time on the pono you increase it to 8 hours and you go school time on pono you increase it that one will cater for some of the lost hours it was engage school for no it was school no and you na ka ho bi and ono who say e ma omo etimi school for no do na ewo schools mo and someone for education minister the etu dwa no ono hu ni say and said that entasu because omo make sure say measures ahodo no omo di begu akwam ama double track system no aye it was 2020 2021 2022 and 2023 the only years in the last decade that candidates were products of the double track system and some Honorable Minister, Eddie Tujano, Enyadia Oneno Ebe Yadre. No one has ever argued that the double track was a perfect policy. It was a transitional intervention while ignoring the millions of students whose lives it's transformed. The measurable improvement was very there. An education minister has a duty to rise above political propaganda and assess policies before official records. He still cannot appreciate the rationale, necessity, and measurable impact of the double track system. Just as a minister, also here now we political space if you any now here data no how a double track needs to be because in as much as someone for the access to quality education, also the access increase. A lot of people got access to attend senior high schools any day. And so no the who say and yes and here. And it's not on the same it's not on the same level with the education minister. You have video way. Education minister and some of the two job parliaments in Emirates.
At Prempeh College, the school boys decided to help them with a CCTV camera. I've seen the students go and pull it down because they don't want to be recorded. That's indiscipline. That's unacceptable. And the heaviest sanctions should be meted out to them by the Ghana Education Service. But I know, Mr. Speaker, we reviewed our capital punishment regime, and therefore there is laxity, and many of these students are not punished for those unacceptable conduct. Mr. Speaker, only last week I supported the Minister for the Interior and the Narcotics Control Institution to deal with the drug menace in schools. And you'll be alarmed that in some secondary schools, a student will have the courage to go and sell weed, marijuana, cannabis on school campus. Mr. Speaker, this should merit outright dismissal, because if this doesn't happen, he will poison the rest of the students who are completely innocent. So I agree that there is a problem, there is growing in this. And then, Mr. Speaker, there is a case in the senior high school WASI exams where some students decided to beat up a teacher because he would not help them in writing the exams. We've had an incident of that nature recorded, that because the teacher and invigilators will be strict and vigilant, they decided to mess up with the teacher. So we may have to rethink and review our punishment regime and to clothe the Ghana Education Service with authority to deal ruthlessly with any student who misbehaves and finds himself wanting when it comes to the code of conduct of the school. So meanwhile, the Ministry of Education and GS, we are implementing a number of measures to strengthen discipline at the pre-education level.
Enti eno education minister nensem odi tudwa na yebesa akoni etie nsem no mu bio nensem odi tudwa no kiremu a nensem odi tudwa no kiremu a uko schools no mu a sese the way a yehwe yenkra no omo enema omo eye school mu obeko school mu the indiscipline na ekoso no nyina kire se de yesesa ye disciplinary actions e wo school mu ye mo akora ba yesua yeko school no chale yebetimi aboa ma waso be yehye but sese no sa bro no ne aba ken ni nyina ye free ho enti the children are becoming stubborn and that way maybe more the students are even beating the teachers because ye trays and so am ye enti ye po. It's not fine, it's not nice. Enti ni nyina mu na education minister de aba betudwa se omo behwe na omo ameki sure se saa nema we nyina eto ebetwa ewo ye schools ni mu enti eno ema ne de saa ne nsem ebetudwa na sisi am no ka say kwesi kwate is on a different side as compared to what the education minister was actually saying about the double track system and the updates no at the amamo enti going forward no there is going to be a review of Ghana's education system. No, say there's going to be a total review of Ghana's education system. And that is the update. Yes, anti-government to review disciplinary regime in SHS to empower SHS students. And that is the update. To empower GES, so that they can deal with indiscipline in our countries. That is the update. Because the level of indiscipline in Ghana no akosho. China no pa anasa anadwi Ghana is playing Colombia. Enti yenim se yebehwe na ya tie Ghana Black Stars ya tie omachi ya support omo na omo etimi akonkoden na omo etimi e the victory no e the abre Ghana for enti yenyina yebehwe match ni bi all predictions are obetimi e the ato video yase na yebekan e the amount yebekan predictions ni nyina e the amount na ultimi win so so a yapekwan bi so na yabo aba so aha Pinax TV the updates bebre na e de brewo ye de mo ebesi e wa ha ya